Good morning, students. Welcome back to history. Today we are going to study grade 7 history. Okay? Chapter number 11, Bhakti and Sufi movements. What is this Bhakti and Sufi movements? Now we are going to study about Hindu and Muslim only. Bhakti shown by Hindu and Sufi movement was by Muslim. What are these in detail we can see in this chapter. Okay. Rise of Sufi movement. Main features of Sufi movement. The Sufis were organized in 12 orders of silsilas like Chishti, Suhawardi, Firdausi, Naqshbandi, etc. Main features of Sufism. God is one, they were saying. God is only one. Faith is spiritual guide guru, means guru was sent by one God who was preaching us, like that their mindset was. Okay. Self surrender or prapti, means prapti. In Sanskrit word it is called as prapti. In English it is called as self surrender. Okay. Believe in different school of Sufism. Means in school Sufism were mostly believed. Preaching in Arabic, Persian and Urdu. Means their preachings were in Arabic language, Persian and Urdu languages. Okay. Emphasizes on devotional music and songs. They were attracting people by devotional music and songs. Okay. Means what after main how did this Sufi movement came, like that we can see. After death of Propagand Muhammad religion, differences arose between two sects of the Muslim community, the Sahis and the Sunnis. This led to prolonged mutual hostility and bitter quarrels between two sects. Means in Sufi movement there were two communities in Muslims only. One is Shias and Sunnis. Okay. Means they were having mutual hostility between them and little bit quarrel. Quarrel means fighting between them, that two sects. So next what happened we can see. This religion conflict marked by extreme intolerance posed a serious threat to the Islamic principle of brotherhood and monotheism. Means it went to extreme level. It was intolerance between them. It went too seriously quarrel between those two sects in the principle of brotherhood and monotheism. Monotheism means one God, means only one God in Muslim, like that they were fighting. Okay. There was an increasing tendency among the Muslim rulers and the nobles to lead livings of luxury, opulence and indulgence. This was opposed to the Islamic principle of simple living and pity. Sufism arose as a reaction and response to this trend in Muslim society. The liberal reform movement was started to restore unity and harmony among the Muslims. After that, these all religions, means in Sufism, the simple of living in PTT principle they brought into this community, and made a arose reaction in responses this trend in Muslim society, means that made some changes between them, like leaving and piety principle. So they started to restore the unity and harmony among the Muslims. This was the reason for the rise of Sufi movement. Okay, next we can see causes for rise of Bhakti movement. Status of gods and goddess were broken by the Islamic invaders and temples were destroyed by them. The Hindus resorted to the Bhakti movement for salvation. Means status of god and gods and goddess were broken up by the Islamic invaders. Means they were saying, Islamic invaders were saying like, means Islamic invaders who were there, means last the period of Babur, Humayun, Akbar, these were Islamic kings, right? When they invaded the Hindu temples, as if we know that many Islamic kings, they invaded our places. Invaded means they captured our places and destroyed many things. Like that only, they destroyed statues of gods and goddess were broken by Islamic invaders and temples were destroyed by them. Okay, statues of gods they were destroyed and temples also were destroyed. The Hindus resorted the Bhakti movement for salvation. For this reason they brought up Bhakti movement. Okay, the path of salvation was not opened for everyone in Hindu religion. People felt offended. Bhakti movement assured salvation. Means everyone was not so boldly brought up into Bhakti movement, but somehow some people supported this movement. The formalism, superstitions and casteism, means here formulation and superstition and casteism was more. Means formulation means the status they were building up between them, and superstitions means they were mostly believed in black magics and some spirituality. In those things they were mostly believed. And casteism, you were this caste, we are this caste, we are upper caste, you are lower caste, like that they had a differentiate between them. So there they means in Hindu there was not so easy to bring unity between them. Okay, paths of Jnana Marga and Karma Marga were difficult. Paths of Jnana Marga means, Jnana means the knowledge we have, Marga means the way, knowledge way, the thinking by the from thinking by the mind, it was so difficult. And Karma Marga means, as we know, karma means what we do. If we does right thing will come to us. Bad, if we does bad thing will always, it means Karma Marga means what we do for others, that will be returned to us. This thing was called as Karma Marga. The path of Jnana Marga and Karma Marga were difficult in Bhakti movement, they were saying. Okay, the main reason what was the Bhakti movement raised, we can see with the passage of this time. Okay, the Hindu religion had become rigid and complex, and many evil practices and beliefs had crept into Hindu society. Means what they are saying, like Hindu religion was very rigid and complex. Complex means it was too difficult to understand, and many evil practices and beliefs had crept into Hindu society. They were having many evil practices and beliefs also, like I said before itself. Black magic and spirituality in their mind, it was too much. The rigid caste system led to society inequality and injustice, and the exploitation and the oppression of the lower caste by the tyrannical higher castes. As if before I said the same thing, there was lots of casteism, so that society was very difficult to bring unity in them. There was lots of inequality and injustice also, so they were exploiting lower caste peoples. Okay. Elaborate, expensive and meaningless rituals prescribed by the Brahmins imposed a crushing financial burden on the poor people. Means on that period, what they were saying, what they were doing, Brahmins were doing meaningless rituals means the now any festival it comes means in house also you can see there will be some puja sampradaya and all, right? They will be doing something, some puja. If we are doing one festival means inside that we will be having 2-3 rituals means pujas we will be doing. Like that Brahmins were doing at those time only, and putting financial burden on poor people. Means if they are doing means even poor people should do like that, they were putting financial pressure on them. People belonging to the lower caste, especially the Sudras, could not even understand the hymns and the mantras. Even they don't know means that time Sudras, they even don't understand the hums and mantras. Hums means the way Brahmins used to say the mantras, they don't even understand because they were not permitted to study the Sanskrit religious text. Means they were not permitted, they were not allowed. Permitted means they were not allowed to study the Sanskrit religions. Okay, the Islamic principles of equality, brotherhood, and one God also appealed to liberal minded Hindus and fostered the growth of religious reform movements within Hinduism. Means Islamic principle of equality, brotherhood, and one God appealed to liberal minded Hindus. Liberal minded Hindus means the in Hindus only the some people who were free minded. Liberal means free minded Hindus fostered the growth of religious reform movement within Hinduism. Means they were comparing Islamic, they are having equality, they are having brotherhood. Why can't you bring it into Hinduism? Like that they brought religious reform movement between Hinduism only. Okay, the urgent need to liberate the masses from the stranglehold of the priestly class and rigid Hinduism of meaningless rites and rituals led to the birth of Bhakti movement. Means why Bhakti movement came means the priestly classes, rigid Hinduism of meaningless rites and rituals led to birth of Bhakti movements. Means they were not having inequality, right? So they were exploiting lower caste system. This all leads to Bhakti movement. It would receive the principle of monotheism. Monotheism means one God. equality and ritual free worship. Means ritual free worship, this only you should do, that only you should do, like that. That free worship was brought up and restore Hinduism to its original simplicity. Hinduism is the original simplicity and purity based on the Upanishads. On this base only you have to do, like that. This bhakti movement was raised. Okay. Next, in this Sufi movement, what is there we can see. Sufis were called as silsilas, we know, kanhas. Sufi majesty, person of deep devotion. It was person of deep devotion. Early Sufis, Raiba Mansur bin Halij Al Ghazali, tried to reconcile Maitaism with Islam orthodoxy. Monotheisy, monastic organization practice such as penance, fasting, etc., sometimes being traced to Buddhist and Hindu logic influence. Means here sometimes here people used to devotion, means pray for God in deep devotion. Okay. Means here monotheism, mysticism were tried and also used Islamic orthodoxy. Okay, monastic organizations were there and practice such as penance, fasting, etc. Means fasting practices were done and sometimes trace the Buddhist religion and Hindu logical influence also. Seer, Murdi and Fir. Means the Guru. Fir means the Guru and Murdi means student, like Shishya. Okay. The Sufis were a group of Muslim maistati who started a religion reform movement in West Asia. Where? In West Asia. Okay. Mystics are people who try to attain knowledge and become unity within God through prayer and meditation. Means these are the people who were trying to attain the knowledge and become united with God through prayer and meditation. Through prayer and meditation, they were becoming united to the God. Okay, the Sufi movement was originally a reform movement within Islamic. The Sufis were inspired by the teachings of the Quran. The Sufis came to India with the Turks in the 12th century. They came India with Turkish. Okay. Over the years, they absorbed Buddhist and Hindu influence and were greatly respected by the Muslims as well as the Hindus. As before I said, like they absorbed Buddhist religion and Hindu religion also, and they were respected by both Muslim and Hindus. Like the Buddhist Sanghas, the Sufis established several monastic organizations called silsilas. Okay, two of these organizations, the Chishti and the Sudarwadi orders, became popular in India. The founder of the Sufi movement in India was Moinuddin Christie. Moinuddin Christie, his dargah in Ajmeri is an important pilgrimage entered for both Muslim and Hindu. Okay. Next we can see, here also same they have said, monastic organization called Silsilas and Moinuddin Christie founded in India, founder of India, first Sufi movement. This only they have said. Okay. Now, teachings of Sufism. As before, monotheism means one God and all people are his children. This was thought, and equality, all human beings are equal. Respect all religions. Reach God through love and devotion. Through love and devotion, you can reach God, they were saying. Strive to be a good Hindu or a good Muslim and lead pure life. Be good Hindu, good Muslim, but lead pure life, like that they were saying. Fir, Guru, I said before, will guide a person along the spiritual path. Come closer to God through devotional music. Qawwali means it was a their devotional music. Okay. Next, Bhakti movement, meaning, features and impact. Meaning of Bhakti movement. Usually it is accepted that the most characteristic features of the religion development during the medieval period was the movement which emphasized single-minded intense devotion to God. It was a complete surrender to oneself to God. Means oneself to God, it was complete surrendered towards the God. It is called as devotion. Okay, the movement which emphasized primarily these ideas was Bhakti movement, devotion to God. Bhakti to God was accepted as salvation. Bhakti towards God as accepted as salvation. Okay, main features of Bhakti movement was unity of God or one God though known by different names. Means unity in God or one God. Means only one God is there, but they were known by many different names. Okay. Bhakti, intense love and devotion. The only way to salvation. Repetition of the true name, self surrender, condemnation of rituals, ceremonies, and blind faith. Means they were condemnation, means they were against the rituals and ceremonies. Ceremonies means functions, and blind faith. Blind means at those time they were saying like, I have found God at a tree. Means I have seen God in this place, like that. Blind faith they were creating. Okay, that they were against that. Okay, reaction of idol worship by many saints. Rejection of idol worship by many saints. Okay, open mindedness about deciding religious matter. While talking about religious matter, they should be a open minded persons. Okay, no detection of different caste, higher or lower. Means they should not be any difference between higher caste and lower caste. Okay, next, Teachings of Bhakti saints. Monotheism, equal before God. Everyone are equal before God. Rich, good through love and devotion, led a pure life. Same they are saying. Ramananda, Kabir, Guru Nanak, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Meera Bhai. Everyone was saying this only. At Bhakti saints, these are the people who preached many peoples how we should be and how not, like that. Ramananda opposed casteism. 12 close followers, leather worker, barber, Muslim weavers. Opposed casteism and 12 he closed followers. Okay. Bhakti movement. Bhakti was carried to North India by scholars and saints. Bhakti was carried by North India who were scholars and saints. Ramananda, born at Prayaga, follower of Ramanuja. Ramananda was born at Prayaga, who was follower of Ramanuja. Later founded his own sect. Later he founded his own sect and worshipper of Rama. Then he became worshipper of Rama, taught doctrine of bhakti to all four varnas. Means he taught of bhakti of all four varnas. Which are these varnas? We will see later on, okay? Choose discipline from all sections of society. Means he was choosing every discipline manners from all section of society. Ravidas, Kabir, Sen, Sadhana, Dhana, Narahari, Pipa, from everyone he used to learn some discipline sessions for society. Okay. Sant Kabir. Who is this Sant Kabir? What all he preached we can see. Idea of one God. Same idea of one God. Hindu Muslim unity, universal brotherhood, tolerance and absolute universal brotherhood. Everyone should be like a brothers, like that he was preaching. Tolerance and absolute surrender to God. Denounce casteism, means he was against casteism and idol worship rituals. Preached message through dohas. He was preaching through dohas. Ramananda was preaching through varnas and Sant Kabir preached through dohas. Okay. Who was Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was a great saint and devoted to Sri Krishna. He was devoted to Sri Krishna. Ramananda was Rama, right? He popularized the process of Nama Sanskritan congregational chanties of the name of God, which is very simple yet extremely powerful technique for increasing love of God. He was Nama Chankritan. He was using to popularize his process of love towards God. Okay. In his youth, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was primarily known as erudite scholar whose learning and skills in argumentation in his locality were second to none. Means in his argumentation in that locality, no one was nothing in front of him. Okay, a number of stories also exist telling of Chaitanya's apparent attraction to the chantans and singings of Krishna's names for from a very young age, but largely this was perceived as being secondary to his interest in acquiring knowledge and studying Sanskrit. Okay, he was very interested in acquiring knowledge and studying Sanskrit, and he was singing in the name of Krishna. He is inspiring to all youth people. Mirabai, Rajput prince devoted to Krishna. Even Mirabai was devoted to Krishna. Love and devotion through Mira's bhajanas. Here, through bhajanas, she was devoted to Krishna. Spent a lot of time dancing and singing in devotion to Krishna. Always she used to spend time by dancing and singing towards to Krishna. The Alvas and Nayanas. Criticism of casteism. Alvas and Nayanas protested against caste system. These people protested against caste system, challenged patriarchal norms. Patriarchal norms means Lingayats also challenged caste system, questioned theory of rebirth. Means patriarchal norms means Lingayats also challenged casteism, means questioning the caste system and questioned the theory of rebirth, how the rebirth is happening and all they were questioning, and encouraged post puberty marriage and remarriage of widow. Post puberty marriage means the woman who is ready to give a birth to a child was also able to marriage and another marriage, it was they were saying, and remarriages of widows also they were doing. Okay, Sant Jnaneshwar, he was also called as Shankar Jnaneshwar, was born at 1275-1296, also known as Janadev. He was born in the Deshastha Brahmin Kulakarni family. Deshastha Brahmin Kulakarni family he was born. He was the 13th century Maharashtrian Sant. He was Maharashtrian Sant, a title by which he is often preferred. Sant was always they were calling. Poet, philosopher and yogi of the Nath traditional whose work Bhavarta, Deepika, Tita, a commentary of Bhagavad Gita. Means he was always working on Bharvata, Deepika, Tirtha, which was in Bhagavad Gita, popularly known as Dhyaneshwari. and Amruta Bhav are considered to be million stones in Marathi literature. He was popularized by Amruta Bhav, considered to be a million stones. Okay. Sikhism was founded by Guru Nanak, inspired by Hinduism and Muslim. Both he was inspired by 17th century, widely accepted also. In 17th century it was accepted also by many people. One God created of universe, human beings are equal, rejection of casteism, accept universal brotherhood, good and pure life, discarded idol worship, guardians of Guru. Means every sant, every one who till now we have seen, everyone's ideology was to abolish the caste system and accept the universal brotherhood and be like a good and live pure life, which was guidance by everyone. Same Guru Nanak also did. Impact of religion movement. Lastly, we are going to see impact of religion movement. Preached in the languages of common people, developed of the local languages, preached in common languages and in local languages also they developed preaching. Lower caste got free access to the truth of Hindu philosophy. Lower caste understood what is Hindu philosophy, what is behind truth about it, like that they understood. Conversion slow down and exports the futility of rites and rituals and undermine the superiorities of the Brahmins. Superiorities of the Brahmins were exposed, and what is right and what is rituals they understood, everyone understood. Okay. Environment of universal brotherhood and tolerance. In environment, everyone accepted universal brotherhood and maintained the tolerance between them. So finally, we have completed our 11th chapter. Okay, notes will be given in group. So now finally we have going to end our portions. Still only one chapter is remained. In history we have completed every chapters. Okay, thank you. Study for the exams well.